you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving, and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. Well, we're in the hunt.
All right, I'm out of practice with opens because Sean keeps taking them from me. So let me try this one out. This game was like Rocky Balboa, where there'd been a bunch of stinkers ahead of that movie. So you go into it with low expectations, and it was okay. And the ultimate result was a win. But, we're not all going to get excited about it. How's that? Not until Creed. How's that?
That's pretty good.
That good? How'd I do?
I don't want to sound like a baby boomer here, but I saw an article recently that said Sylvester Stallone isn't going to watch any Creed film.
He's in them.
Now I'm going to guess.
He's not in the new one.
I'm going to guess that he hates it.
Did he die? Did his character die?
I don't know. I think he died in real life.
Rocky has to die. Like the last 6 of them have been like Rocky holding on for dear life at Adrian's grave. Just I'm gonna be soon, Adrian. And he's always in a cancer doctor's office. Like he's got a new cancer. Eventually he's got to die.
I think you just watched Creed on repeats, and you're like, he's always there.
He's always talking to the cancer doctor.
He is. He was doing that in Rocky 3.
I got cancer in the knuckles. I can't fight anymore.
Everyone thinks he went to Russia in Rocky 4 to fight the Russian. They had the best cancer doctors available for his gall cancer and gall bladder
cancer.
Okay. The Bills beat who they played? The Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost by double digits. They had their foot off the gas. And this is the In the Hunt cast. I'm Greg Bauk. Kyle Turner and Sean Murphy are here as well.
Well, I mean, what's we won, but obviously the offense looked pretty ugly. How's everyone feeling? Greg, is the team still okay? Drunk Kyle, are you worried?
I texted you in the first quarter and I said, there's absolutely no way in hell. If you think, what I said is, if you think I'm doing the pod today, you're insane because the Bills look really bad.
Yeah.
But then they just Josh Allen look really bad.
Wait, so let's do an impression of Greg. No pod. I don't want to do a pod.
Oh, my dog sounds like dead. Sean. No pod. My dog died so many years ago.
No. Well, one of my dogs died so many years ago. Then very recently, a different dog died.
You're killing your dogs.
No, they are disposable.
I
feel good.
I don't. I think that the Browns were in it at the end still. I know they technically weren't, but I think a better team, like the Browns aren't an NFL franchise, but like kinda. Like people forget it's Jacoby Brissett. So they're like, oh, we beat the Browns by 8 points. But like you beat Jacoby Brissett. You think that outcome is the same with Deshaun Watson?
Yes, because the Bills wouldn't have gone for that one field goal when they were down there. Allen wouldn't have knelt on the ground on 3rd fucking down when he could have easily ran for a first down, but he was playing it safe. So no, this is definitely the same output. They just know that Jacoby Brissett was there, and Jacoby Brissett can't score 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion in 2 minutes.
Well, it was definitely, I mean, we could all agree, an ugly game, especially on offense.
Yes.
Not a lot of boners. I mean, do we have any? Well, we didn't have any last game.
I have one this game. Mine was
last week.
The Milano sack was the moment where I kind of loved the play, loved it for him because he was having such a good game. And it was kind of like, okay, this game is finally over. I can relax a little bit. So that was mine.
I had a boner every time James Cook ran the ball. I thought, not just me, but he's your best explosive back. And he deserves the ball more. And I think he's getting that. So I have no problem with that. But anytime he ran the ball, it was just he was bigger, faster, and stronger than Singletary. And he could do the things Singletary does, and I think he can do it better.
My boner of the game was when Stefon Diggs helped up the little photographer he had.
Yeah.
That photographer was such a bitch about it, too. Did you see him? He really tried to act hurt. He was Stefon Diggs went to help him up, and he gave the whole like, give me a second.
If Stefon Diggs ran into you, Kyle, you'd be projected into the moon. What are you talking about? What do you mean he acted like a bitch?
If Stefon Diggs ran into me, he'd have to go on IR.
Kyle the Wall Turner.
He was hit by an NFL athlete going full speed, and Kyle's like, you got to take that hit harder.
You got to bounce right back up.
That little guy, he was just on the sideline. Like, I'm taking my little pictures, and then a man hit him. You know,
why does he sound like Sean Murphy quitting the pod? That doesn't seem right.
I won't stand for making fun of that photographer unless you know him personally and think he's a bad guy. But yeah, there's no way you would have recovered from that.
I think that the offense was worrisome, and they should have won this game as they did. I don't even think it should have come down, like, especially after the last 2.5 games. If your heart didn't jump a little bit on that offsides, like, you're just a homer, and that's fine too. But like, they won by 8 points. It's not like they blew the Browns out. They won by 8 points to Jacoby Brissett in a dome with your fully healthy offense, as we said. Now,
yeah, that was my big point from last week, is that the thing that makes me worried is the offense is 100% healthy. And if they get dinged up a little bit, they're already struggling. Can they?
Now, again, they are missing, again, Tre'Davious White. We're all hoping comes back.
Talking about the offense.
Yes, but I'm saying, like, they won by 8 points, but again, they won. Their defense is playing without Kaiir Elam, without Tre'Davious White, without Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah.
Bud Light Lime, you better pull this shit together. You better pull it together.
Without Tremaine Edmonds. So is there an apology coming?
No, I said at the beginning of the year, I think I owe Tremaine Edmonds an apology.
Yeah,
but also, I'm not going to, I've said this before, I'm not going to allow one good year make up for 4 years where I was like, I think this guy's not that good. Yes, he is good and important this year. It took him 5 fucking years.
Well, he's only 18 years old. He's still growing. He was 13 when they drafted him. I think that of all the things I noticed on the game, and I didn't have the all 22 breakdown like Kyle did, but of all the things I noticed in this game, the second one we're going to get to next, I hope. The first one is that they're missing Edmonds so much in the middle of the field. Like the touchdown pass, the should have been touchdown pass to the tight end was a really bad blown coverage. So I know that other one was at least iffy. The other one was just a drop pass that should have been a touchdown. So I noticed that Tremaine Edmonds was missing, and I'm not like watch the film football guy. You can just see that it looks like it's a mess in the middle of the field, especially on passing downs. He just covers so much ground.
Yeah, and the defense, that's why I almost want to move by the defense, because I mean, they're missing half their starters. They did as good as you could expect them to do against an NFL team. They did. Sure. They did fine.
Poyer showed you how much they missed him in the games he wasn't there. So it's almost
undefeated with Poyer.
I start looking at the past losses they had because Poyer wasn't there last week. And like, if Poyer was there last week, they would have fucking beat the Vikings and we wouldn't have been like sad pod. Sean would not have had to quit the pod if Poyer was there last week. Sean would have
recorded on a whole different day.
I can't.
It's crazy.
I can't believe I'm getting Greg's
Swag Murphy
putting his personality on me.
Swag Murphy would not have had to have been a little bitch and quit the pod every week. I know I quit the pod every week. I know
it's crazy. I feel like the defensive line did a very good job despite missing Rousseau and then losing AJ Epinesa early.
Yeah, that sucks.
And only got 1 sack.
Mm-hmm.
That like how
Von
many
Miller
times...
was like all over that backfield though. Von Miller had a
but again, like it, Jacoby Brissett again for now. The Bills completely sold out and shutting down the run. They Kareem Hunt had 32 yards. Jacoby Brissett was second with 29, and Nick Chubb had 14 attempts for 19 yards. But Jacoby Brissett threw for 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. So it's not like they completely shut down the passing. I mean, Amari Cooper did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yeah, he did
in this game.
And it seemed like there was good coverage on him too.
And again, like, yeah, receiver. It's just one of those things. Like a few of those were on Taron Johnson, so it wasn't even like he was picking on fucking whoever our fourth cornerback is. I don't know anymore, but like this team is, in my opinion, is definitely missing. Like they haven't been healthy all year, the defense, and maybe one day we'll see it. But
Edmonds and White fix a lot of things.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too worried about it. Also, backup boner of the game was the back-to-back QB sneak stop.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Can we talk about the most important thing that happened in the game? The first quarter, when Josh Allen just doesn't look like he can throw a football anymore. That was really, really bad. And I think that's why I quit the pod in the first quarter. I didn't want to talk about this. There's something he was going through, and it looked like there's an elbow problem, there's a mental problem, something's really fucked up.
Had to be mental, yeah.
I guess, because he did look fine, and he threw some good passes the rest of the day, but you look at the really good catch by Dawson Knox that was really high, and then he sailed a couple over the receivers. He just didn't look good, and I was like, whoa, like it doesn't work without him. This does not work without him, and if he's not working... And it looked bad in that first.
A matter of fact, that Dawson Knox catch might be the game turning point, because the game was so ugly before then, and Dawson Knox went up to get that high pass and somehow got a first down, and that kind of kept give us a little momentum finally for the first time.
It was a terrible play call and a terrible decision, and he turned that into a first down. Like throw to the sticks, you need a first down, and it was a 4-yard pass that just happened to turn into a first down. Low percentage,
and the positives of the offense here, and maybe this is why it started to turn around a little bit. No turnovers, running game getting going a little bit without having to rely on Allen to run.
Yeah, they ran for something like 190 yards or something like that.
I don't know how Cleveland is at stopping the run either. I might look that up.
They got Dawson Knox involved for maybe the first time all year, and it's like, if you can't really get McKenzie going, if Gabe is dropping some stuff, like go to your all-pro tight end that you signed a big contract to. So that was nice to see. So at least they kind of, hopefully going forward, fixed some of the problems.
172 yards rushing ahead.
Josh Allen just seems, and we've said this before, Josh Allen seems like a guy who's very heady and goes by like the momentum and the confidence in his head. And it seems like he sways extremes. So it seems like before this game, they're like, listen, man, your interceptions are costing us. You have to calm down. And he like dropped down to like a Trent Edwards level where he's like, I got to calm down. Mm-hmm. And then at halftime, they're like, we can't have you do that. We need you up a little more. And he was like, okay. Like, he seems like a perfect soldier. You tell him exactly what you want to do, and he's like, I can do that. But you need to be specific. You can't be like, hey, man, you got to cut down on the turnovers, or he's going to turn into a shell of himself and just check down and not hit wide receivers. Because that, like you said, that first half was like, he was sailing shit like he was a rookie and didn't know how to throw outs anymore. Mm-hmm. But then, like, the second half, it's like they literally, in that 2-minute drive, like, literally were like, what the fuck is going on? And he was like, you guys told me to calm down.
I'm surprised, Kyle, you didn't come in here raving about your favorite parts, the special teams.
I mean, field goal.
Bass is hold on. Bass is 6 for 6 in this game in field goals. There is a blocked field goal. Hines looks great on the returns. Are you not entertained, Kyle?
The punting was good. Dude, don't forget the punting.
Don't forget that punting.
Good.
Oh, how could I forget
that punter drove to the game with the coach. Von Miller and the punter.
Have you forsaken the special teams, Kyle?
The punter lives with Von Miller. Did you hear that in the broadcast? He lives with Von Miller. He's trying.
Any time there's a field goal under 50 yards, I don't even cheer. I boo.
That sounds like you.
It's what a worthless. You can't score within the 30. You get out of the NFL. Anything over 50, I'm like, it's good. That's a good field goal. So like some of them, he hit that like 61-yarder, and I'm like, yeah, dude. Like people were like, the announcers were like, this is crazy. They're going for a field goal. It's like 61 yards. I'm like, yeah, this guy was drafted for the strong leg. It's in a dome. Yeah, I go, go for the fucking 61-yard.
That's just James Lofton. He's fucking terrible. Like I don't ever talk about the announcing, but what a friggin' terrible game. I would have punted, is what he said. It's like, you're in a dome. It's a fucking 56-yard field goal.
Yeah.
I know you played in the 80s, but kickers are good now. They can make this. Just look at what Bass's stats are before the game. That's before you talk.
It's crazy he said that. Also being a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yes.
Like, you think he would have been like, I would just toss it up.
Yeah, just throw it to your best receiver in the end zone. That's what they did with me.
It was a little frightening there. The whole like Sean McDermott and Stefon Diggs got super close and had that like ear to ear talk.
Yeah. I like that
Stefon Diggs looked like he was like not mad, but at like McDermott at play calling, just like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. The guy can't hit shit. You see him just throw. He's overthrowing everybody right now. What do you want me to do?
And a lot of our listeners don't know, but before the we recorded the Chiefs playoff loss pod last year, Kyle came to my house and we did a similar thing because he's like, I don't know if I got this in me. I got an Iron Man streak on the pod, and I just settled his nerves down. I was like, here, take a little beer, take a little edible. We'll get you in your zone.
Take a little beer. It's a juice box.
It's juicy juice.
Thanks, man.
IPA. Yeah.
But do we have anything we want to talk about moving the game, the snow? I don't really.
No, I'm glad that they moved it. Like the conditions were in a dome. I think the Bills needed to get right. And if Allen had a bad first quarter in Orchard Park with the wind the way it is, I don't see the second quarter turning around as good. So I don't know, maybe he can get things right, plays in the same place next week. Maybe that'll be comfortable. So,
and I think it was very annoying, all the takes of like the out of towners being like, just played the game anyway. It's like, we barely get,
out of towners. That was everyone on my fucking social media feed. Everyone I think that I have ever followed on social media was mad that they didn't play the game in Orchard Park. They don't understand the theory of displacement. Like, what were you supposed to do with that snow? There was so much friggin' snow.
Well, and like, if you have to worry about getting 70,000 drunk idiots in and out of Orchard Park on Sunday, that's going to cause problems in other areas.
There have been school buses full of children stuck on Abbott Road since last Thursday, and you're worried about playing a football game. Fucking people. I swear to God. Someone fucking tweeted in the first quarter, and I had to throw my phone across the room. Allen was just throwing the ball nowhere. And I just picked up my phone, and I shouldn't have. And I looked at Twitter, and someone tweeted. And this is someone I respect, so I'm not going to name them. I'm going to give them another chance.
I hope it's my tweet.
It was, at what point do we start to point fingers at the head coach, is what the fucking tweet said. I don't fucking understand. Like, what is Sean McDermott supposed to do? Go out there and guide his arm to throw correctly? He's fucking playing terrible. I can't fucking stand.
Yeah, man. At least you don't have to look for a tweet of the game.
You don't have to either. Like, that's
you really
it's not like it's sponsored.
I know, but I feel like I got to do something.
You have a tweet of the game for this game?
Speaking of the tweet of the game, I'm glad no one brought this up, so I can be the first to bring it up. This is the tweet. It's the guy's name is Will, and it's at Buffa Pitt, whatever that is. Okay. And I want you to know, Greg, I liked this. I liked this tweet.
I see Will. Okay, he follows me.
Now that Twitter's ending, Kyle, go through a lot of like tweets.
This one legitimately made me laugh out loud. Josh Allen got Squirrel Winters killed. Absolutely no chance that's a real name. He's 100% an informant.
I like that.
So if someone wasn't listening, or they're listening on the radio, or they were out getting a beer, the announcers said Josh Allen wants to give a shout out to his neighbors, Squirrel Winters, for helping him dig out his driveway and getting him out.
Yeah.
And Squirrel Williams sent me down a huge rabbit hole of what this guy's real name could be.
It sounds like a fake name for my question game.
Yeah,
dude, Squirrel. There's no way that guy's real name. And please, I hope he doesn't have a Facebook, because there's no way there's good shit on it. It's for sure. If your name is Squirrel Winters, you don't have logical Facebook posts. But yeah, I guess shout out to Squirrel Winters. And if you're dead, sorry about giving you the shout.
Why would someone want to kill someone just because their name was mentioned?
That's
like,
what
they mentioned someone's name, kill him.
There's no way that's his real name. Squirrel? The guy's name is Squirrel, Greg? That's a fucking animal.
He's not on Facebook.
You're telling me someone had a baby and they were like, yeah, Squirrel. Let's name it Squirrel.
Well, they probably didn't know. They were probably like Squirrel if it's a boy.
Yeah.
And Chipmunk if it's a girl.
and Kyle's talking a big talk over there, but he doesn't even mention his brother Raccoon Turner, which is crazy.
Raccoon Turner.
That one, he's adopted.
Yeah. Old trash panda Turner.
And you know what, I want to some follow-up from last game. I hate doing this, but I want to give Kyle some props. I'm gonna give Kyle some props.
Fuck yeah.
He was ranting and raving about the O-line play, and Joe B's all 22. He mentioned how bad the O-line was, which is something Kyle pointed out. Morrison Bates got the best grades though, on the line. I know you were especially hard on Bates. Yeah. You're not a Bates fan, it doesn't seem like. But
I'm not. I do like a math debate, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean. I also. Oh, okay.
Jesus.
I also want to give a follow from 2 episodes ago. You guys were very worried that I was going to edit Kyle's question game where we talked about how hot he thought Zach Wilson's mom was.
I didn't say that.
I don't know.
I think she's throwing me in there. I didn't say that.
She's super attractive. That's fine. Yeah. I didn't use the word hot. I said she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah. And I don't think Kyle's going to get any Man of the Year awards, but I don't think it was too bad. Like he said she was attractive. That's and plus we're planning on doing a Patreon where we rank the coaches by attractiveness level. So we're equal opportunity on this pod.
That's on the maybe pile.
If nothing else.
We still want people to subscribe to the Patreon.
That is not on the maybe pile. That is on the for sure. That's going to take some research.
We just did a Patreon just to get this in here. The Bills played Cleveland this weekend. We did the Patreon where we rewatched the 6-3 loss to Cleveland, and it's the worst football game that I ever heard. I would suggest listening to that Patreon.
Yeah, when it comes out December 1st. So
yes. Oh, it's coming. Okay, it's not out yet. All right. So I'm sorry. That would have been timely to have it out the same week as the
I also just want to say I did some research into Lisa Wilson, and the turns out she's big Trump supporter and promoted hydrochloroquine as a coronavirus cure.
Who's Lisa Wilson now?
This is Zach Wilson's mom. The follow up to what.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just wanted to give that as context of why Kyle was so attracted to her.
That has to be it. Yeah, that's fine.
I get worms once a month, so you guys laugh about hydrochloroquine, but
have you ever? I have had worms before.
Oh my God, what?
I was like 8 years old. I don't know. I ate something.
I literally didn't know humans could get that.
Yeah. I had worms. Yeah. They're gone now. I haven't had them in 38 years.
Well, that's good that they're gone now.
I hope so. I mean, either that or some really big fucking worms in here.
All right.
That's how I stay so thin.
Anything else on the game before we move on to the question game?
Let me think about it. We covered the running back. We covered the Diggs, the Allen thing. Milano had a great game. I don't know. I thought I'm just satisfied. That's all I can say about it. Okay. I was scared. Now I'm satisfied.
Yeah. I'm glad they won. It was 7-3, or they're 7-3. I think against a better team in the exact same game, I think they lose because that first half was horrendous. But if this is the type of game that it takes to get Josh Allen's mind right and maybe their run game better, sure. But again, like these type of games are fine against the Browns and, the Lions coming up. But like, I don't know, man. If that exact same team that played today, if you think they're beating Kansas City, I think you're crazy.
I understand, but it happens. I mean, the Ravens beat the Panthers like 10-3 or whatever.
That is true.
Like it happens. You get the wins when you can, and hopefully the offense kind of steadies the ship a little bit.
I want to say this now because I don't think that I disagree with what you're saying that if this was a better team, they would have lost it. I think the game would have evolved differently, and they definitely had a bad first half. They kind of put them away by 2 touchdowns at the turn of the fourth quarter. So I think they had this game more in hand. And also, the ball did not bounce their way with calls. I thought there was a ton of really, really bad calls against the Bills this game that we don't have to reflect on because they won the game. But my wife, who was like, watched the games with me, but was never really into it. Now that it's fun, she gets affected. Like, she starts to like, what the hell are they doing? Like, says things she never had to say before because she's a little more emotionally invested in the game and they're not doing good. And she's not used to caring about football. So she asked me at one point, like, what is going on? Like, why are they not beating, like, that team's 3-6 and we're 6-3. Why are they not beating them? And I was like, well, the other team's trying to win too, and they have actual football players. They've won 3 games and the Bills have lost 3 games. The game is not, we got so spoiled in the beginning by the Bills just lambasting everyone that games are going to be close because they're NFL football games. So I don't necessarily think that they would have blown this to a better team. I just think that the game evolved at a really bad pace.
I agree with that. I will say this, so maybe a last thing on the game here. Are we worried about Gabe Davis dropsies? Any worries there?
That drop was bad, but he caught some pretty good balls after
That's true,
that.
but he has a high drop rate for the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want them to get Odell Beckham.
I didn't even know he dropped a ball.
Yeah, he dropped a really huge pass that would have been a first down.
I thought he 5 catches for 68 yards. It's better than some of the other games he's had you know what I mean? Like, he may have dropped a pass, but it's good to see other people involved other than Stefon Diggs. Now, that may have been some of the problem in the first half Allen was just straight up missing people, but I think this team needs Odell Beckham to put them above a lot of other teams.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's go to a blurb from our number 1 Patreon member, Thomas Mulcahy. He wants to remind us that the Bills beat Cleveland in Detroit, while New England beat New York in New Jersey.
That's a good reminder. That game was 3-3 until the last 40 seconds, and then New England returned a punt. Those 2 teams are terrible. Find Zach Wilson's post-game comments. Someone asked him, defense had a really good game. Does the offense feel like they let the defense down a little bit today? No. That's all he's next question.
Well, I think the Jets are a decent team, but Zach Wilson is bad, I think.
Yeah, he's fucking terrible.
And at the end of the day, if you have a QB that can't regularly get above 125 yards passing, you're just going to be, maybe you'll luck into 7-8 wins, but you're not good.
That's a stupid fucking head coach, because you need to see that his backup's better than him. I wanted to say Mark Sanchez, but I was confused.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. They're the same friggin' guy in my mind. But
it's crazy. Every year, a team will draft a quarterback relatively high, in the first 10 picks or whatever, and you kind of just assume that guy's gonna work out. Yeah. When they first drafted, you just go 2 years ago. It goes Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and you go, all these guys are going to be great. Fuck. And then none of them, one's hurt for the year. The other one's below average and one is bad. But it's just funny that your brain is just like, shit, now they got their franchise guy.
Yeah, or even people that you're like Kyler Murray, you're like, I guess he's good sometimes. But he was, number 1 overall pick.
No.
He's on the level. He's a completely different quarterback, but he's on the level of Ryan Tannehill. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid of him. I guess Kyler Murray has upside in a game. He can really kind of take a game over where Ryan Tannehill can't get that, but he's in the tier of ranking quarterbacks. He's somewhere in between, 16 and 23, whatever. Yeah. They're all in there. Who gives a shit?
Kyle, Jersey on the line for the question game. David Quessenberry.
He got hurt walking boot. 3 players in walking boot. Mitch Morris, Dave Quackenberry, and another one. Who was the other one?
Mitch Morris is in a
AJ Epineza.
Oh, I didn't.
They all had walking boots.
There were 3 guys there. You messed up 2 of their names.
Mm-hmm. Epineza. Quackenberry and Morrissey. I'm sorry.
You're starting
Morrey.
to get to like dad age where you just try for the word and you're just, like my parents will be like, did you see they built a new Chipotle's up on the, I'm like, Chipotle? And you just
my mom calls it Netflix. Like and it's adorable. I hope she never stops.
My dad used to call Fitzpatrick Fritz. Fritz, and I was like, "That's you're actually making it harder."
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle, we'll start with you this time. 3 questions, tiebreaker if necessary. Question number 1: which number is larger, Josh Allen completions this game or movies in the X-Men movie series?
Oh wow!
Includes all X-Men movies, Deadpool included.
Is that X-Men?
What?
He's that's in the X-Men universe.
Okay.
There's 2 Deadpools.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I'm glad you're helping me.
Oh man, there's so many completions this game. You said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go completions.
I was gonna go completions too. Yeah.
You're both correct. Josh Allen, 18 completions this game, 13 movies.
13. Oh, Wolverine.
No,
those count. The Logan.
Yeah,
movies
the Wolverines.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let me ask you a question on that.
Of course.
When you came up with the question, were you like, regardless of the answer, I'm going to go Wolverine movies or X-Men movies?
Well, I was like, oh, there's more X-Men movies than I think. That's fun. I'll find a number this game around that number and ask.
Playing the player. Now we know what to do.
That's true. Well, question 2, Greg, see if you could use that knowledge. Which one of the following people does Josh Allen not follow on Instagram?
Fucking when am I going to go to his account and see who he's following? I never think to do it.
Is it A, Tavon Austin? Is it
Maybe.
B, Mike Tolbert? Is it C, Nick O'Leary? Or is it D, AJ McCarron?
He's not following one of these people.
He's not following one of those people.
He's following Banana Boy. They're in meetings. They're getting out their phones. Oh, you're on Instagram? What's your handle? Yeah. He's following Banana Boy without a doubt.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's Tavon Austin. I think we did this. I think he's already been mentioned before, but I think it's Tavon Austin. So no.
Tavon Austin. Kyle, what do you have to say?
I'm going to need the names.
Tavon Austin, Mike Tolbert, Nick O'Leary, AJ McCarron.
Did you know Nick O'Leary is Jack Nicklaus's son?
Yeah. I've never heard that. Where did
I'm gonna say Nick O'Leary. I don't think they were on the same team.
You're both wrong. Mike Tolbert but Kyle had the right line of thinking. Mike Tolbert,
he doesn't get a point.
No, he doesn't. Mike Tolbert and Josh Allen were not on the same team. He was the year before Allen, I believe. Allen follows pretty much everyone that's ever been on the team, which I think is kind of cute.
We got to find the one guy he doesn't follow. I know we might hate him, like unless that guy's just constantly just posting pictures of his junk. Like, I don't want
Mike Tolbert. I follow Mike Tolbert. A lot of pictures of his junk. That's for sure.
His junk's got to be like super wide. He's just a big human being.
Does a fullback have wide junk, you think?
I think they have wide junk, yeah. I don't know, but I'm assuming.
We have to assume. I'll see what his Madden rating is for junk size.
Junk size. He's a tuna can.
Every punter's like a 4. Mike Tolbert's a 99. Junk size.
The creative characters have gotten pretty crazy these days. Kyle, last question to you, tiebreaker if necessary. Which of the following is not a player who dressed for the Browns today? Is it A, Grant Delpit? Is it B, David Bell? Is it C, David Sumner? Or is it D, Martin Emerson Jr.?
Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm just going to go with the last one.
Martin Emerson Jr. Okay.
Browns? Yeah, no fucking clue.
I thought the only one I thought I may have heard was Bell. So David Sumner or the first one? I'll go David Sumner. It's got to be like a cast member of Days of Our Lives or something.
Greg, you are correct. David Sumner is one of our highest Patreon members.
Is he really?
Yes.
That must be in my head. I've emailed him for training camp fantasy football.
And Grant Delpit, safety, David Bell, wide receiver, Martin Emerson Jr., a cornerback. Greg, congratulations. If you want, I have a fun tiebreaker just for funsies. How much money has David Quessenberry made in his career? Career earnings of David Quessenberry. Greg, why don't you throw out a number there first?
I will say $14,500,000.
Okay. I'm going to say like $5 million.
Man, too bad we didn't get to that tiebreaker, Kyle. $5,233,147.
He gets both showcases. He was that close to both showcases.
That's yeah.
Remember last week when I thought that Matt Barkley or whatever had like 320 million?
That may have been my favorite pod moment of all time.
Well,
like
it was great because
walked away with that game.
Greg thought he had 700 or something like that.
I did. I said 700. That's a lot of followers if you got 700. Some
Sean has more than that.
Yeah, but Sean uses the medium all the time. I don't know how often our friggin' backup quarterback is on Insta faving shit.
Well, next week, Thanksgiving, noon game at the Lions, Bills back in Detroit. Kyle, do you have a key to the game?
Yeah, I got a key to the game.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the head guy there, Dan Campbell. Okay. We all know D-Cam, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy, he's an ex-player. Did you know that? He used to play in the NFL. He still wants to play. If you watch Hard Knocks, you realize he still wants to play the game. That's an athlete that can't let it go. So he went into coaching. Now he's a head coach somehow. That got crazy. But the guy still wants to play. So what do? Sign him. Sign him. Tight end. We need a blocking tight end. This team's been missing Lee Smith. I've been saying it for years. You sign Dan Campbell. He's going to leave head coaching like that. And then they're missing a guy, and then they don't have a head coach, and then they're all fucked.
Kyle, I have to give you props again. I know I started off giving you not props because you made fun of that photographer, even though he is stronger and more manly than you. But then I gave you props. Then I gave you props for the all 22, and I got to give you props again here because this might be your best key to the game.
Pretty good one
you've ever had. I think this is
sign the head coach to a player's contract.
I think it's a smart move.
He might still be able to play. That dude just looks jacked. He's got shoulders that you can park a boat on. He's a big dude.
The Lions are
Dan Campbell's junk size is definitely high.
The Lions are an interesting team. They've won their last three.
Yep.
And
who have they beaten? Do you know?
I mean, yes,
the Giants today.
They beat the Packers, the Bears, and the Giants today.
Okay.
But not insanely good franchises, but they're stringing together some wins.
They're 4-6. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and I'm not giving away what I think the game's going to be yet, but
yeah, you want to hold on to that.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it interesting. I'm a little worried. Someone asked McDermott, what do they think is going to, or what are they going to do in terms of, are they going to stay in Detroit for Thanksgiving or fly home? And they said they're flying home tonight and then flying back. That worries me. They had one practice this week. Now they're probably not going to have a lot of practice this week because it's a short week. So you're going almost 2 weeks with maybe 1 or 2 practices.
That wouldn't change though with the flying back thing. That's not good. They're still going to practice tomorrow.
Yeah, it would, Greg.
That's a great counterpoint.
Hey, Greg, do me a favor.
I'm reeling.
Why don't you shut up?
I will.
As always, the type of insightful analysis you can get on the podcast.
I don't have the all 22 to back it up. I can't. I got nothing to say.
Lions defense pretty bad generally. I know they got Hutchinson there, but pretty bad. I think this is a get right game for the offense, but I think the Lions offense is going to have a bit of a field day. I think St. Brown's going to go crazy. I think they're gonna put up some points, maybe keep it close. I think it's gonna be high scoring, and I think the Bills win 37-28.
I'm not giving the team more than 30 points just based on how they've been playing. So I thought they'd kill Cleveland today. They eventually got it together, but I think it's going to be closer. because I don't see Edmonds and White coming back on like 3 days. Like if they couldn't play today, why would they be able to play 4 days from now?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be like a 31-23 game, similar to today. Was that today's score?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Okay, same score then, 31-23.
I just want Tre'Davious White to come back, and at this point, I'm convinced he's never going to play football again.
It's a year. He injured himself on Thanksgiving last year, so this would be a year.
I think he plays Thursday night, the New England game.
That's the next week. Okay,
that's the week after.
Yeah. And that would give him an extra couple of days rest in between games too. So yeah.
I guess, man, the guy needs a fucking year. I'll tear my ACL today, play tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'll be a photographer on the sideline and take a hit. I don't care.
Even if it's Skycam?
Even if it's Sky, it's only 1,000 pounds.
It is. It's only 1,000 pounds.
I'll hold it. I'll hold it. I think
same size as my junk.
Oh, Lord.
I think the Bills. I'm glad they put it together in the second half. This sounds dumb, but I'm glad they their offense put it together in the second half, and not the first half. When they started out hot and got cold again, I would have been more pessimistic. But seeing that they put it together in the second half, I think it does carry over. And I think they put up like 28 points. Unfortunately, I think the Lions put up 49. So
okay.
That was a journey.
Yeah, it always is. When Kyle starts a sentence, you have no idea where it's going. So let's do our quick little wrap up here. As a reminder, 4 Patreon members still have to get back to me about their shirt size. Francis, Jonathan, Stephen, and Neil. Let me know if you want that.
Let it go, Sean. They don't want our shirts.
Patreon members got free tickets to a comedy show that Sean's
and I was just going to say
Wednesday.
That all Patreon members go to the Patreon. You get there's a free ticket link in there to see comedy Wednesday night at Helium. Greg's on it. I'm headlining. Rick Matthews is on it. Free tickets. Sign up for the Patreon and get your free ticket and your t-shirt and go to the show.
And I'm gonna have a beer after the show.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah,
one?
Hang out. At least.
It's the 23rd. Is the wife coming?
I wasn't only saying just one. I'm just saying I know I'm going to have at least one, and I drink slow. So no, I'll have more than I'll have more than one beer.
And t-shirts are done. Hopefully we'll start sending them out soon. Sign up for that Patreon. I think we just started that Cleveland Bills 6-3 game recap. I think it's our 50th episode. So a lot of apps out there on the Patreon for you to dive into if you haven't yet. Full episodes on YouTube. Email, of course, inthehuntcast@gmail.com.
Jesus.
Kyle, Greg, anything else to mention?
I have to give a shout out to Samrod at Helium because she told me to, and she books the club every now and then. So I'm giving her a shout out, and we're friends. I'll say that.
Oh, that's nice.
And,
I have a.
What about that guy you saw at Target or whatever responded to you? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said,
I gave him a shout out on the pod. That's as good as any.
No, I'm saying, but after that, he responded.
Yeah, I liked one of his tweets back. Yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
It's a big honor.
Yeah.
To have Kyle.
I don't like many tweets because
he does not throw those likes away.
That's true. I don't think he's ever liked a me or Greg tweet in the entire time we've known him.
He does not like my
Sean texted us the other day. He's like, I'm going viral on Twitter, one of my stand-up bits. And I went and I watched and I go, that's pretty funny. Didn't like it at all.
You didn't like Sean's video.
I forget. I just like it. I give it
right there. It's right next to play.
I forget. I'll like it right now.
I retweeted it and I don't throw those around. I wanted that sucker to spread like chlamydia. And Sean did good. Quick shout out to Squirrel Winters for his work today on the pod. I don't know who that is. It's the guy that helped Josh.
Squirrel Winters, man.
Another apology to the photographer.
We got to stop talking. This is it.
I liked it.
This is just clearly you're just trying to hold on.
Elon Musk is ruining Twitter, and I just liked Sean Murphy's tweet.
That's right. It is funny that Twitter seemed like it was going away the day Sean hit it big. It's like, going away.
I just got a notification. Squirrel Turner liked that. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
What do you think? Squirrel's not his real name, right?
Stop. We're not talking. We're done. We're done. I got to walk my dogs. I got shit to do, and I ain't talking about yo-yos.
The very last thing is this: that next 2 games are on Thursday night. So give us. Episodes might be delayed or 2.
We're recording on Friday after Thanksgiving.
No, we're gonna record while I'm at the table eating dinner with my family.
That's going to be the only time Greg's going to be like, can we please, for the love of God, record tonight?
Yes, I really.
Longer pod.
Let's do 4 pods. I don't.
I love you at home or you at somebody's house being like, we got to go. I got to record. Your entire family, they're just old people, and they're like, what do you mean you got to record? What are you recording?
Or just in the other room, like, Grandma, I can't come out there and talk to you about politics. The pod's still going on.
I record the pod. I love the pod. I never miss an episode.
You can't call them that anymore, Grandma.
That's right. All right. Bye. Sweeto, thank you for listening.
The Bills won.